So here's the interesting thing about what we're about to do, and it shows you the nature of combat. I had to teach you the clinch. I had to teach him the clinch because it looked good on camera, but in reality, most of the people that you ever deal with on the street in a fight have no idea technically what a clinch is. They kind of know what it is because they've grabbed a hold of people when they were younger or whatever, but they've never actually done it before. They don't know what it technically is. So what we're going to look at for a moment here is the clinch. So right in there, just grab there. So like this, right? So basic wrestling clinch. We have looked at exactly all the different things that create rotation when we're in here. And so with this arm, I'm going to control you in a number of different ways. We're not going to be wrestling or anything like that. We're just going to look at, and this is how you want to work with your training partner, we're just going to look at the different ways I can move you in order to control you, right? Mm-hmm. So now you'll notice, folks, what I just did is that he's locked right here. I didn't just pull him forward. I'm sinking, I'm creating a lever, and then a point of rotation around that. Come back up. This is all based off of what I know your arm will do. And I'm just exploring a little bit and playing with it. You probably hear the mic pop just a little bit, that if I take my hand and move it from here, what can I do with it? This is how you begin to work with the body. So when you're working with your training partner, you're looking at all the different things you can do in order to get it. So if you grab here, it's the same thing. All I'm looking at is how, and I'm moving you off the shoulder right there. I can move you off the shoulder to here. Go ahead and step like you did. And then bring back down. This is how you begin to explore this movement in the arm. What will that rotation do? How can I move that rotation around in just a basic clinch? Come back and grab. You okay?
Yeah.
So from right here, that's all I'm looking for. Now what I just did is I moved him to the range, the limit, then I used him in equilibrium because I knew where his center mass was to bring him back down. You can do whatever you want to do. You can do it from here. So let's say that I pull down right here. Stay right there. You know, in human equilibrium, we talk about dampening. I've created dampening here, so now all I have to do is drive that center mass back over in order to push down. Come back up. Come up. Good. So just using this right here, go ahead and grab the belt. It's the same thing. I'm learning where can I move this person around based off of the limitations of this arm. Does that do anything? Does that hurt? Any of this hurt?
This does not hurt yet.
That doesn't hurt at all, okay?
Yeah.
That hurts. That's starting to hurt. How about if I push that back?
Yes.
Now even more. But what'd you do? He just started to alleviate it. He moved this joint. Now here's the key. When you're working with somebody, this is all attribute development. Let's be honest. Real combat is fast and it's hard. It's gross motor skills. This is all about developing attributes. This is about understanding how the body moves so that you can use those gross motor skills in combat to get to something. So come back, get to where you were. I had you here because we were just, had you there and there. And you moved that elbow. Stay right there.
Okay.
One of the things that we talk about in human equilibrium is attacking the compensation of the body. We set up the body to do the things that we actually want it to do to achieve our goal. So if I do this and I get him to move that elbow, where am I more likely to get him to go down? Just hold exactly where you are. If I push through him for equilibrium, I'm not, take a step back, come back down. His feet, they are wide, but he's going to be able to compensate. He's going to be able to balance. He's going to be able to do things in order to not come off of his equilibrium, or to not have his equilibrium disturbed. So what am I going to do here? He's moved that elbow. If I pull him forward, he's going to take that step. I already know what he's going to do, and he knows what he's going to do because it's what his body does. Human equilibrium, if you watch it, I know exactly what he's going to do. He's going to balance to reestablish his load-bearing area. If I'm trying to get him to the ground to control him, then what do I got to do? If I get him to move that elbow is creating rotation that I can use. So if I have a situation where I'm locked up, let's say that I've hit him in the eye, he's grabbed here, and I start to come down after hitting him in the face. He's got a full arm open over there that he can hit me with. Go ahead. There. So I've got that. I got that going for me. Or he has that going for him. So I've got to do something quick because I've hit him and he's come off of me. I've ended up in this situation. Now what am I going to do? Here, now I can control. Now you're in a bad spot, right?
Yep.
You would admit this would not be fun.
No.
Okay. So if I bring him, you can see he's about to tap. Come back up.
Yep.
This is about attribute exploration when you work with your training partner based off of the knowledge of rotation and function of the arm. You get him to where he breathes through it a little bit. What did he do? He moved around and then he moved a joint. He breathed and he moved that joint. He got to that third gear. Once he was in that third gear, I start to notice that that's when I can begin to work a little bit further and see what I can do with that compensation that he's trying to get from pain back to discomfort, back to, a normal state. So that's what we're working with when we're working with our partner. And that's what I want you to make sure that you do with your training partner. When you're working with the arm, and we're just taking the arm as the example here, take the graph, take what you see, how it moves, and then once you do that, start to rotate it, start to play with it. Where does it function? Where does it hyperfunction? Where does it malfunction? And work with that knowledge in order to create the result that you want.